I dedicated an entire month last year to practicing Greenland rolling. 1,000 rolls in 31 days was the challenge I gave to myself. And then I quietly walked away from it. No decision, no announcement. I just never went back. A year later, I think I finally understand why. Greenland paddling, and more specifically Greenland rolling, have been pulling me since I began paddling decades ago. And I thought that month last year was finally going to be the push that moved me back into that style of paddling. Like I was opening a door I'd wanted to walk through for years, but it didn't. And I want to talk about that today, because I actually think that's the more interesting story. What a commitment leaves in you that you can't see until a year later. One year ago from this episode release was my first day on this lake at the beginning of that 31-day challenge. So this time a year ago, I was spending a lot of time thinking about my goals and what I wanted, and how I'd enter this challenge and what I'd hope for myself as a Greenland roller. And looking back now on that anniversary, I realized I haven't really thought about this goal for the past year. And I find that curious. I'm thinking a lot about it right now because in that planning time and in that who I thought I was going to be, I realized that that didn't come to pass. 20 years ago, I thought I was going to be a Greenland-style paddler. The beautiful wooden Greenland paddle was my go-to paddle at the time, and I was even starting to look at purchasing Greenland-style boats. And then my life changed, and the whole kayaking thing got a lot harder for a while. Coming back to sea kayaking, I expected to re-enter that world, kind of pick up where I left off. But I kept not doing it. I couldn't make myself commit to learning the rolls. I'd done things in my Euroblade, but I'd never really refined them in my Greenland style, my Greenland blade. And I made this challenge. It took this 30-day challenge that I gave myself last year to kind of kick my butt and put me back into that style of paddling, to force myself back into that instead of making excuses or putting it off. So I set out to accomplish this goal of building my roll well enough that I could take the Greenland paddle out and feel really confident with it solo. In those 31 days, I got my standard roll and the bones of a storm roll. So go watch that episode. I'll leave a link up in the corner here for you to go check that episode out. It's actually 2 episodes that sort of chronicled that journey. I'm really proud of that episode. I'm really proud of that time. But where I ended was still in very much a growth phase. I was still moving towards something. So I left that month with good intentions, with some good skills built, and a plan. But here's what actually happened. I took the Greenland paddle out 2 more times last year on 2 camping trips. I didn't take it out for a day trip. Every time I went paddling, I just didn't reach for it. And more surprisingly, I didn't do another Greenland roll the entire year. I'd done plenty of rolling, but it was always with my Euroblade. I never grabbed for the Greenland paddle. It wasn't a loud decision. It wasn't a conscious decision. It wasn't a conversation with myself. I just reached for the thing that I wanted to use every time I was going out. It's just where I ended up. And I've been here quietly for the past 12 months without stopping to ask why. Before I get into the why, though, what did that month give me a year ago? Well, first of all, confidence. It gave me a ton of confidence with my roll. With my Greenland roll, sure, but just with rolling in general. I just got a lot more comfortable with being underwater and making a kayak come upright. The other thing it gave me was a lot of body awareness. That 31-day window really allowed me to understand what my body mechanics were doing. What's happening in the roll, why a roll would fail certain times, why it would succeed. Commitment was another big thing. Getting up almost every day. I did miss a couple of days. Go watch the episode to find out why. But commitment. I found out I could show up for myself and do something hard every single day, even when I didn't want to, and witness the growth that happened to that. And then the thing I couldn't see until now, until a year later, was The person who fell in love with Greenland rolling and Greenland-style paddling 20 years ago is a different person now. I'm just not called to that style of paddling anymore. I enjoy it, I appreciate it, but I find I enjoy my Euroblade way more. And look, like, I get there are reasons why people choose a Greenland blade over a Euroblade for reduce stress on their joints or shoulders. That might not be the same preference. They might have less choices in it. I get that, but I did have that choice, and I was able to make that decision for myself. So it took that 31-day challenge to force myself to start Greenland rolling. But I realized at the back of it, there was this should in my life. Like, oh, I should be that type of paddler. I should like this type of paddling. I used to like this. I should like this again. And I couldn't have told myself this in May of last year. It only became visible a year later when I looked back and I noticed where I'd quietly landed and asked why. And sitting with that, here's what I think it actually means. I thought I was signing up for rolling skills and a specific style of paddling. But what I was actually doing in those 31 days was asking myself, am I a Greenland-style paddler? After 20 years of circling this question, that month finally answered it for me. And the answer was no. That month a year ago was a focused experience to let me explore it, but it took me a year to be able to hear it. I did the work, 1,000 rolls, and I'm really proud of that, genuinely. And I thought I knew what came next. A year later, the Greenland paddle is still there, but I reach for the Euroblade every single time. No clear decision point, just where I ended up. The month last year didn't take me where I thought I was going. It took me somewhere truer. It showed me what I actually wanted, and I think it took me an entire year to allow myself to accept that. To accept the paddler I actually am, not the one I thought I was supposed to be. And I don't know what the coming years will have in store for me, how many times I'll go back and forth, but I think the next time I'm in one of these transitions, I'll be quicker to understand what's going on and to answer the question for myself. Are you a Greenland paddler or a Euroblade paddler? Has that changed over the years? I know most people have a whole host of reasons why they prefer one style to another. What's yours? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear your journey. Also, I have a free gift for you that is on my site. If you go to cstevekayak.com/first aid, I made a What's in My First Aid Kit. I had a ton of fun making it, so go to the site and get that. Friends, thanks for coming with me on this behind the scenes episode into my journey. As always, dear friends, I hope you enjoy your adventures, whatever they are, and until next time, safe paddling. Bye for now.